Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
Sometimes a customer's check may be returned for non-sufficient funds. You have three options for entering a bounce check in QuickBooks Online Plus. You can handle bounce checks by either using an invoice, check, or journal entry. If you use a check, the check must come from a customer originally invoiced using the accounts receivable account. For example, you can use the check method if the bounce check was received from a customer payment on an invoice using the Receive Payment window. To enter a bounce check using a new invoice, you need to create a product or service item that uses the bank account into which the original check was deposited. Additionally, you can create a second product or service item to serve as the bank fee you were charged for the bounce check. Note that this second item, if you choose to create it, needs to reference an expense account or a contra income account. For example, it could use a bank service charge expense account if desired. To create the new product or service item, click the Gear button and then choose the Products and Services link under the Lists heading in the drop-down menu to open the Products and Services page. Click the New button in the upper right corner of the page to open the Products Services Information pane. Click the Non-Inventory choice to show the next page. Enter the name for the item. For example, Bounced Check could be its name. Use the Income Account drop-down to select the account on which the check was returned. For example, select the checking account or whichever account is used to make deposits from sales. Also, ensure the Is Taxable checkbox is unchecked. When finished, click the Save and New button to save it and open a new pane. Now create a product or service item for the bank charges associated with the bounce check. This lets you recoup the fees paid to the bank. If you do not know the rules for your location, check with your accountant to ensure you can collect bounce check fees. In the name field of the Product Services Information pane, enter a name for the item like Bounce Check Fee. Use the Income Account drop-down to select a contra income or expense account. You can select the bank charges account or click the Add New option in the drop-down menu to create a new account. Ensure the Is Taxable checkbox is unchecked. Then click the Save and Close button to save it and close the pane. Now create an invoice by clicking the Create button and then clicking the invoice link under the customer's heading. Select the customer that bounced the check from the Choose a Customer drop-down. Enter the date the check bounced into the Invoice Date field. On the first line of the line items list, enter the bounced check item, or whatever you named the item, and then enter the amount of the bounced check into the adjacent Amount column. On the next line of the list, select the Bounced Check Fee item from the drop-down. Then enter the amount of the charge from your bank, or the maximum amount you are legally allowed to charge, if applicable, into the Amount column for this line. Then click the Save and Close button to save the invoice and close the page. Then enter the bank service charge as an expense by clicking the Create button and then clicking the Expense link under the vendor's heading to open the expense page. Enter your bank's name into the Choose a Payee drop-down field. Enter the date the check bounced into the Payment Date field. Type NSF fee or something similar into the Reference Number field. This references the type of expense. Select your Bank Charges account from the Account column in the Account Details line item list. Then enter the amount you were charged by the bank for the bounced check into the Amount column. Click Save and Close to save it and close the page. To collect payment on the new invoice, follow the normal Receive Payment steps in the Receive Payment window to accept payment on the bounced check and any bank charges. When your customer pays the invoice containing the charges from your bank, you simply receive payment on the invoice to create a new deposit amount. Using this option to link your bounced check item to the bank account into which you make deposits reverses the check in your bank register. This saves you the extra step of creating a debit to offset the original credit to your income account.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.